Hello. Welcome. I will give everybody a minute to hop on. Facebook always likes to delay everything. So let's see here if I can pull up my screen and make sure I'm live. Hopefully you can hear me, and I hope that my AirPods don't die. I didn't realize they were not fully charged. I love wireless AirPods, but I hate that I have to charge them. Alright, let me just make sure I'm live. Come on, Facebook. If you can hear me well, let me know in the comments. Say yes in the comments and let me know. Alright. Welcome. If you're watching this live, good morning. Live from the US, I guess. I have international viewers that it may not be the morning for them. Good morning, Kimberly. Thanks for hopping on. Good to see you. And yeah, I think you're the one I just commented on saying congrats on your new certification. Oh, thanks, Susie. I'm glad you can hear me. Welcome, everybody. Hi, Mike. Hi, Lori. Welcome. Good to see you guys. Awesome. So today we're going to be talking about kind of some secrets to building a six-figure dog training business. I had some fun with the title on this one because I want it to catch your eye. Right? So welcome everybody. Let's see here. Introductions. Almost evening here for Ingrid. Nice. Here, but on a dog walk. Oh, that sounds nice. Hopefully we get to go outside tomorrow. It should be a little bit warmer here finally in New York. I'll get a little break from the chilly weather. Anyway, so if you have not hopped on live yet, my name is Ines McNeil. I'm the founder of The Modern Dog Trainer. And yeah, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the podcast has been going, and today, let me just double check it came out. There's a really good interview that came out today, hopefully. Hold on, it's loading. I got to interview probably 5 or 6 really great people in the industry, and actually a couple of people that are not in the dog training industry, because I thought that their information would also be relevant to dog trainers. And Anchor is not working, so let's check out Spotify. So anyways, yes, had some really good interviews with some really, powerful people in the industry. So I hope that you guys are able to check that out. Let me just see if I can find it. Oh, come on. I guess I have to use the desktop version here. I'm just double checking that it came out today. It should have. So anyways, today the podcast that came out was with Dr. Susan Friedman, and if you have not heard of her, definitely take a listen. She is a psychology professor at Utah State University and runs her own kind of online course for professionals. And I think she has a personal pet owners course as well, but she teaches people applied behavior analysis, and it's a course that I took many years ago. And if there is one course that you ever take to learn how to train animals, I really recommend that one, because it really gets super sciencey, and then you really understand the mechanics that goes behind the scenes, whether or not you're aware of the science behind what you're doing. You get to really understand why animals behave the way in which they do, why humans behave the way in which they do, and then you can really operationalize it, so you can use the theories and those strategies to really change any behavior that you see in any animal. So I've actually taken the things that I learned in her course and used it to do clicker training with a horse. I've used it to train parrots. We used it in in a seminar once to train guinea pigs. I've used it to train my rats and my cat and obviously the dogs. Now, if I'm honest, I probably apply the same skills to teaching my daughter things and making sure that she succeeds in what she does. So really, really amazing interview and great course. It's called Behavior Works, and she is actually starting a January round. So if that sounds interesting to you, definitely check it out. Again, I recommend any animal trainer out there take this course just so they really understand what's going on behind the scenes. Anyways, that's not why we're here, but I wanted to mention it. Check out the podcast all of this month. Every Monday and every Thursday, there'll be new interviews published for this quote unquote season. So it should be good. And keep an eye out for those. Anyways, today we're talking about kind of the secrets. Thanks, Lori. Yeah, definitely worth it. The secrets behind a six-figure dog training business and business owner. I don't think they're necessarily secrets, but they're probably things that you don't realize, or maybe things that you're doing that are holding yourself back from getting there. So let's dive in. Number one is they don't do it all themselves. It may seem like it because they have really good systems and a really good team that does things behind the scenes that you don't even notice or realize. That applies to personal help around the house, around their home, around their life, and also professional help around their business. So, things like delegating chores and things to other relatives. For me, for instance, Lori, truth, yes. For me personally, I have my husband. First of all, we split our caretaking of our daughter about 50-50. So a lot of people ask me, like, what do you do while you're working? I'm like, I work and he takes care of her. It's great. And he's really good at it. He's a great dad. He also does the laundry. He also does the grocery shopping, and he does the cooking. Those are all things that I do not enjoy at all. So they drain my energy, and my energy is very precious because I have to show up fully for you guys, right? So I definitely am not behind the scenes being a full-time mom and full-time business owner at the same time. I have help personally. I have a house cleaner that comes every other week. And then I also have a pooper scooper lady that comes by twice a week because I have a small yard and 2 dogs, 2 large dogs. So, that has by far been my most favorite investment, is having a pooper scooper service come by and take care of that, because that was, I was like, I wasn't resentful, but I did not enjoy scooping poop all the time when I could be playing with my daughter or could be reading a book or doing a Facebook Live, right? Like that was taking away from the way I wanted to show up. Obviously I didn't want to get rid of my dogs, but I didn't want to be the one that had to scoop up after them. And that was not something my husband was willing to do either. So, we delegated that. I have seen my students with 6-figure businesses really delegate lots of administrative work. They have some sort of either I can't think of the word, not the register, like at least a virtual assistant or an in-person assistant that does a lot of things like email communication or scheduling and that kind of stuff. They usually have, if they have a facility, they usually are hiring out. There you go. Well, yeah, my kid's not quite old enough to be the pooper scooper yet. Yet. But yeah. Where was I? So, so they're delegating things, even things like, social media management. That's something I have my team help with as well. I provide the systems, the strategy, and all the copywriting. I do all the copywriting myself at this point. And then they just kind of make it work exponentially for me. They follow the strategy and they maximize what I'm doing. Kat says, I'm having a hard time delegating anything. I'm a control freak. Yeah, that's definitely something you have to let go of. And what you can do, what you just have to do is just teach somebody else to do it your way as much as possible. And that I think people are scared to do because you don't want to like insult somebody else. You don't want to overstep. But when you hit those levels, you kind of have to get over that. You have to get comfortable telling other people what to do and how to do it, and not, you know, it's not a personal thing. It's just that's the way it needs to be done so that it can be done well and frequently and consistently, right? So it's kind of like the CEO hat you have to put on. So yeah, what else can be delegated? I mean, lots of stuff. You just really have to get creative. And you know, if you are not good at something, and it's not, you know, your quote unquote zone of genius, it's not something you really love doing and you're not good at it, that's definitely something you need to delegate. Let's see, Laura says you can also have to get to the point financially that you can afford to delegate. I feel like that's something that is an assumption, because when you delegate, you then free up time to make more money, if we're honest, right? So it should be, you should see it as an investment, as something that's going to give you back time in your day that you're going to be able to make more money from. So things like that. Mike says, would you advise to hire someone to take initial calls, or is that crucial for the owner trainer to do that? That's definitely not crucial for the owner trainer to do that. I think you can definitely delegate that. Again, systems, scripts, set your people up to be successful and train them. My experience after raising 3 kids is that when they are big enough to help, they are busy with school and sports. Yeah, you know, and frankly, like, I don't want, you know, I'd much rather be teaching my daughter how to run a business. She'll be the one on the side of the road with a lemonade stand in kindergarten. No, I don't know. I would much rather her learn skills that will help her succeed at life than, you know, doing a bunch of chores all the time. So we'll see. We'll see. I definitely think that chores are important, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. She's only 1.5 years. I got time to think about it. So anyways, yes, that was point number 1. That was a long point, but it's a very important point. And just any person that you admire, you know, celebrities, dog training idols, like anything like that, just know that they are not doing it alone. And they're likely not on social media even as much as you. It just looks like they are because they have helped to, you know, make their work exponentially spread across platforms, right? And they have the systems to do that. So we'll get to that a little bit later. So number 2, they have a big dream and a big vision for what they're here, quote unquote, on earth to do. They, you know, they maybe start out like, oh, you know, I love dogs and I want to help them. But then that dream really quickly builds to, oh, I want to have a facility to help hundreds of people and dogs in the community and spread the power of, you know, positive reinforcement based training. So it grows, their dream grows really big, really quickly, which is great. And, you know, by no means do you have to have a facility to have a 6-figure business, but that big kind of audacious goal should definitely be a part of you and what you do if you are pursuing a 6-figure business, because just looking to make ends meet or pay off a little bit of debt or, you know, move into an apartment, you know, like out of your parents' home, like that is great, but that's something you can do in the next 3 months, you know, if we're honest. So choose something that is much bigger than that and much more motivating to get out of bed every day to pursue, right? So, and then also, you know, when you have a really, really big goal, it also means that if you don't hit it, you still get halfway there and you still accomplish a really great amount of success. So it should not be something that, you know, you don't do just because you're scared of not reaching it. The point is that even if you don't reach it, you're going to be doing a lot more stuff and see a lot more success than you would if you hadn't even set it to begin with because you were just too scared. And that's something that I want to share. Like, I didn't, used to set really huge goals. I did have a habit of like making big moves. Back in 2015, we moved across the country and didn't have jobs lined up. We bought a house across the country sight unseen and moved from Texas to New York, and that's worked out really well. But it wasn't, I didn't necessarily have a big dream or a vision for it yet. I knew I wanted to end up working for myself. But having that big vision and that big dream is going to let you know which decisions to make. And, you know, always keeping that in mind is going to let you know which decision is the right one or which choice is the right one to make in order to accomplish that dream. So they have a big dream. Number 3 is they persist. They keep going. There's no, like, giving up is not in their vocabulary. They just continue to figure it out and persist and continue. You know, you just don't let anything stop you from getting to where you want to go. It's not even, you know, honestly, like for me, like failure isn't like a thing. It's not something I even think about, because I know that no matter what I do, I'm going to figure it out and I'm going to keep going anyways. You know, there's really, yeah, you just keep going. And then number 4, yeah, they figure it out. So they research, they Google, they ask, they reach out to people for help. They do whatever they need to do in order to figure it out. Sometimes I wish I knew the word quit. Lori, I love it. No, see, we need you to keep going. Yeah, even when I like, for me, like, I want to take time off, but I enjoy the work so much that it's hard to take the time off anyways. So let alone quitting, it's like, I mean, quitting for me would be like going back to like a day job and not, I would probably still be bored and do something on the side anyways. So, there's just never, you're never done. Stephanie says, I moved to a foreign country and I'm now working in 2 languages. It's not easy as I'm still a little shaky in French, but I'm working on it. Oh, cool. That's awesome. I'm French, in case you didn't know that. I forget who I've told. I consider failure as just another lesson. Yeah, exactly. Like, I guess I probably fail a lot. I just don't even realize it because I just keep going and do something better or different. I don't take it like personally. I guess the only failure would be if we, you know, ended up homeless or something. And even then, you know, I believe I'd figure it out. I'd be able to find a job and do something. Especially as you grow, like everything you learn to do becomes a skill set that you can either apply to your business now, to a future business, to a future job. So it's all just a great learning experience that is only going to help grow your career. Anyways, number 5, they're not fear-free. I know we like to teach fear-free training, but being a business owner is not about being fear-free. They may be fearless, so they are not quite as fearful as you maybe, but that doesn't mean that you can't get there. And I think there's no growth without a little bit of discomfort. So you have to kind of learn to be okay with the fear, with the discomfort. I think where I was going earlier with the mention of taking time off is that I like taking time off, but too much time off and I get bored and I like can't help myself, so I have to like get back to work. And so it's like that comfort of taking time off is like too comfortable now. Like it's so relaxed that it makes me uncomfortable. Whereas when I'm working, it makes me uncomfortable and challenges me to do new things and all of that stuff. So, you know, it's not that you are fear-free. It's just that you become really comfortable with the challenge that you have, the challenges that you choose to have for yourself and your business. Number 6, they get really crystal clear on who they can and cannot help, because that ultimately is a decision you have to make at some point to grow. Is there are people that you won't be able to help that you'll have to refer out to other resources, and then there are people that you can help and you can help them really, really well. And so those are the people that you have to really focus on in order to see that 6-figure kind of income. Number 7, they know or they realize their worth. And this kind of applies to like, let me see if I had another point on this later. I don't want to over duplicate. Yeah, no, okay. So they know and they realize their worth, and then they charge accordingly. They do the research into how their work is impacting people. They realize, you know, what they teach and how they teach impacts people on a deeper level than just teaching a dog to sit and stay. And then they price themselves according to the value that they're giving the people that they work with. And doing that kind of gives you, you're better able to kind of explain your services and why your services are important, and makes people want to buy them. So you have to first realize the impact you're having in order for you to communicate that. And I don't have my bullet points numbered right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They do the work for delayed gratification. What I see kind of, not necessarily newbies, but a lot of trainers that struggle, is that they do work for instant gratification. So they whip up their website to make it look really pretty and awesome. They throw some ads together to get traffic immediately. So they do kind of these like quick fix things that don't really result in long-term sustainable growth and like serious growth. It's just kind of like a instant, like, you know, it looks pretty, it's done, and you know, it's gonna bring all this business to my business, when really it doesn't do that. If it does, it's a short-lived effort, or it doesn't happen at all. So you do the work, you learn the strategies, and you keep going with the expectation that it's going to work out in the near future, but not instantly. And again, they keep that vision in mind so that the work that they're doing is worth it and is all with a purpose. So they don't focus on the instant gratification or instant results or anything like that. They continue to do the work, the consistent work over days, and really expect to see the delayed gratification show up. And it does, because their audience continues to grow. They keep attracting people that they enjoy working with and that really appreciate the skills that they have to offer. And then they kind of build a system. Like, that's where you kind of see people or businesses that have like continued referrals, like consistent referrals, that builds up over time. That's not something you really should be focusing on when you're getting started, because that takes so much time. But that is something that, you know, you put in place over, you know, years of experience and years of being in business, right? So it takes time. Number 9, they have processes and systems and are thorough in how they explain those and how they train their team members on that. I think this is something that a lot of trainers fail, just because, like, that's not why you get into training. You don't get into training to set up, you know, operations and procedures and systems, but it quickly becomes a really important factor in your business in order for you to grow, in order for you to handle the number of clients that you're going to want to see come through your virtual doors. So they have, the processes for, how their social media strategy should look like, or how new clients should be handled. And those systems are set up. The people that need to run them are educated on them. They have a proactive plan on how new clients should be handled. They're not really, scrambling in the back end anymore. Maybe it did at first, but they don't anymore. So those are all things you can be really proactive about. And even if it's just you and your business, start documenting that stuff on your own. So that when you have a team member come on board, they understand what your process is, and you can easily train them on that. And then number 10 is something I want you to remember, is that they're just like you. They're just people. I've never really been big into like idolizing people, even like celebrities and stuff, because I realize that everybody's just a human being. So they're human just like you, and the only thing they're doing differently is that they're still taking action. They're still doing the work day in and day out, despite any excuses, despite any fears. They just figure it out, and they show up consistently. They persist towards their mission and their vision, and that work pays off. So I hope this was helpful. I hope that you realize that you can also build this for yourself. It absolutely is possible for anybody in this group. So I hope that you can do it. If you're interested in learning a little bit more about kind of what a 6-figure dog training business consists of, or you want to learn more about the academy that's opening up for enrollment now, and we're starting in January, I really encourage you to check out the exclusive training that I've put together for you. It's at no cost to you. You just fill out an application. I'm personally reviewing all the applications, so there's a little bit of a delay there, about a couple days. But it's because I read each and every response, because I want to see where you're at and where you want to go. So I think those will be some good questions for you, and then you'll get the free training after I get to your application and send you a little email to approve it. All right. So I hope you've appreciated this. Check out the training. I'm going to put the link in the comments here below. And as always, if you guys have any questions, post in the comments here, post in the Facebook group, and I will be happy to respond to them as soon as I can. All right. Thanks again for watching. We'll be going live next week. And if you're on the email list, check your emails, especially on Saturday and Sunday this weekend, because I'll be sharing some stuff. All right. It was good to see you guys, and I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, Friday and then the weekend. And yeah, you can always watch all the recordings of my Facebook Lives in the Facebook group, so definitely join in there. All right. Bye-bye.